Hey everyone, welcome to HR Happy Hour Work Break. Karen Hunter joins me again today. Karen, how are you?
I am making it. That's all I can say. It has been a busy Monday, Steve.
You know,
How
the
are you?
funny thing, we didn't, as usual, we don't really plan these shows and let's just go. And the first thing I was about to say was, man, this Monday felt like every second was Monday all the way from beginning to end. Still not over yet, although it should be. This is the work break. It's 5:02 p.m. where I live right now, Karen. I feel like these work breaks that happen at 5 p.m. Are not a good sign because it's very difficult to fire back up the work mindset, at least right away. But I do have some stuff to do tonight. But yeah, long day. We're doing all these demos. We talked about it last time you were on the show, and we had a couple more today. They're pretty good stuff. We got to check in with our old pal, Ben Brooks, and the team at Pilot. So I want to shout out Ben. A great conversation with him and the team that we just had. We just finished it like 10 minutes ago or so. And they're doing some really great stuff. So I want to give them a shout out because super PitchFest winner at HR Tech last year and just rolling, doing some really incredible things. So that was pretty cool to catch up with them.
That was definitely a good one to see. And then earlier today, when we talked with friends at 15Five, they just have a lot of good things going on with engagement, and it's good to see what's coming. I think.
Yeah, I don't want to give away anything that they might have told us that we're not supposed to say out loud, but they kind of have a different approach to engagement. We'll leave it at that, and one that if they sort of get it right, could be a real kind of it's a game changer. That's such a cliche word, but kind of really change the way we think about engagement, which we've been talking about forever and ever. It's so funny. When you look back, every so often I'll look back on some of the old HR Happy Hour shows in the archive. There's a show from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago that I don't even remember who the guest was. I didn't re-listen to it, but I just saw the title of the show. And the show was the final conversation we're going to have about employee engagement. Because even back however many years ago, I don't know what year it was. I'll have to Google it. But we were so sick of talking about it all the time that I guess we decided to do a show where we said, this is it. We are never talking about this again. And of course, in 2020, we're still talking about it. We'll probably be talking about it forever.
We may need to have a show like that, go back through the archives and pick out a few of those shows that we can we talk about. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're funny. I mean, I used to, when I was a little bit more diligent, I would, at the end of the year, I would kind of write up a summary post and say, oh, these were my favorite shows of the entire year. And I'd post that on the blog and things like that. I have not done anything like that in a while, and we probably should, because there's some good stuff. There's some funny stuff back in that archive. There's some good stuff back in the archive. We're going to be doing another Workplace Movie Hall of Fame show very soon. So I'm looking forward to that too. And then just one more thing on the show, since I brought it up, the HackerRank show, we mentioned it once on the work break, but we did a show with Vivek, the co-founder from HackerRank, and that's going to run tomorrow, which means that's the work I have to do tonight is edit that show because I didn't do it over the weekend. So good stuff though. Yeah, good day. I'm glad the day is kind of winding down though. Crazy day. You know what's happened to me when I went outside in the backyard for a few minutes in lunchtime, and it's so hot I didn't stay out there too long. And
what happened?
Well, this was interesting. So the woman who lives next door to me on one side of me came over to the backyard fence, and I've lived here almost a year. I've never met her. I've never spoken to her. I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. And it's fine. Nice. I'm that kind of a neighbor. I'm the neighbor when
those are the best kind of neighbors.
Yeah, but when something really bad happens, when they, if I ever get hauled away by the authorities, I'm the guy who the neighbors, when they interview, will say, oh yeah, he was really quiet, kept to himself. That's my deal.
Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah, I know the guy on the other side of me. I know his name, and he's, there's a married couple who lives next door to me. I've forgotten the wife's name too, so hopefully I'll never have to recall it because I don't remember it. But anyway, so this woman says, "Are you Steve?" Right? That's what she says to me, and I said yes, and she goes, "Oh, I got a piece of your mail." And so I had to get up and walk across the yard and retrieve the mail from her. And I was thinking the whole time, I've been living here for a year. I've never met this person. I don't know anything. They don't know anything about me. I don't know anything about her. She's got a piece of my mail. And in the 15 seconds it took me to cross over the yard, I'm thinking, what's the most embarrassing piece of mail that she could be having from me? Because she would have obviously had to look at it, at least the front of it. She didn't open it, obviously, but it was an envelope. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope that's, and then I couldn't think of anything. I don't really get any embarrassing mail. But I felt like awful. Like my first interaction with this person I lived next to for years, she's got a piece of my mail and it could be like just something I don't want her to see. But it turned out it was like my electric bill. But
well, I was going to say, in reality, do we actually even get mail? Hardly these days. I've made a point now. Mine is just for a little bit different reason, just to not go out to my mailbox. It's just I live on a busy street, and so we're out in the country, but my mailbox is across the street, so I have to make a trek across the road to do it. And I've asked for it to be moved so that it's safer, and they won't do it. So kind of my in my persistence to not go get my mail, I will only check it like once a week. And the funny thing is, when I go out to check it, I may only have 3 or 4 things. Like I don't get mail. So.
I didn't go out there that much either. So and then I was so like, and again, keeping my tradition of I don't really want to have any interactions with anybody around here, honestly. And that's a whole other story for another day. I didn't even I just said thank you and walked away. Like I didn't, I didn't do it. No, I know it was the worst. And I thought, should I have been a little bit nicer, a little friendlier? I'm like, yes, of course. And I couldn't manage to do that. So it didn't happen. But I read something earlier, or maybe it was over the weekend, that I thought was disturbing, Karen, and I wanted to bring up on the show because it's the most 2020 thing, maybe, like in the year where every headline you're going to read, just every news story, anything's possible, right? With just everything that's happened in 2020. I didn't read the whole article, but here's the headline. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. KFC, right, our favorite fast food chicken place, KFC is currently experimenting with 3D printed chicken nuggets that are being manufactured by a 3D bioprinting company in Russia.
Okay, so bioprinting, that means this is somehow coming, like you can eat it, essentially.
That's the idea, that you can eat these 3D printed nuggets.
Okay.
I don't even know what to do with it. I don't necessarily think we have a conversation about it, but I just thought it was just awful and weird and absurd and totally 2020 at the same time.
What comes next? I mean, what can even top that, Steve?
I don't know. Okay, I'll give you one more. So we've talked about the hot dog eating contest on this show a lot. It's my favorite, July 4th tradition, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And I know we covered this a couple of weeks ago, right after it happened, but Joey Chestnut won the male side of the contest, and he broke his own personal world record. He ate 75 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. That's the world record that Joey Chestnut holds it. Well, some scientists somewhere, and I'll use science in kind of loose quotes, there's like a global pandemic going on that you may have heard of this.
I've heard a little bit.
and yet, instead of turning all our attention to that, we've got experimenters printing chicken nuggets out, and we've got more scientists. This is what they were doing, Karen. They decided to figure out what is the maximum number of hot dogs and buns a human being, any human being, could actually consume in 10 minutes. They tried to figure this out. Like, what's the, you cannot get any better than this. When you want to take a guess of the numbers, Joey Chestnut has a world record. He just at 75, he ate in 10 minutes. What does science say? This is the top. This is the most a person can eat in 10 minutes, a human being.
I can't even fathom 75, so my guess is going to be 100.
All right, you're pretty close. It's 85. Science says 85 is the maximum number, just I guess for the amount of food and your stomach explodes or you die or something awful happens and so he's pretty close though. That's what I was thinking. He's getting into the 70s pretty regularly now in this contest, and he's only 10 away. And I just wonder if you're Joey Chestnut these days, is that the goal? I gotta get to 85. What if he passed it?
I mean,
that was incredible.
That would have to be your goal if you're him. I mean, right? Because now somebody set the bar. Somebody said, hey, this is all you can do, so wouldn't you want to just one-up it?
I know. This is the peak of human potential, 85 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And yet, all these horrible things happening in the world, and we've got science somewhere just wasting time with Joey Chestnut and hot dogs. And I'm talking about it, so I guess I'm feeding into it as well. Oh, that was awesome.
I think it just goes to show that people are just kind of done with talking about everything with the pandemic, right? We don't know what's up and down anymore. We don't know what's coming at us tomorrow. So why not just look at the hot dog eating contest. I mean, it's worth something, right?
I do love the hot dog eating contest every year. So, I mean, perhaps I talk about it too much, but. Whew.
Would you ever do it though? Would you ever try to participate?
I don't think I could do it. No.
No.
I don't think I could eat more than 3 or 4. Like honestly, like all the way down, choke them all the way down.
Right.
And the buns, all that bread, it'd be tough.
No, I don't know if I could even do 2.
I could probably get to 3 or 4 would be my guess.
So not even close to the record.
No, awful. All right. KFC, Nathan's Hot Dogs, demos, mail mishaps. Oh, I didn't even tell you about it. I had a huge problem with the computer today. I had to do a Best Buy run in the middle of the day, middle of a Monday, to try to make this all work. So things I do.
I've got a quick one for you. On that last call that we were on, you said, "Hey, I heard, was that your dog barking?"
Right.
I had no idea. Okay, so I walk out of my office. Everybody's standing around because I have a house full of people now at this point, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you missed it. You missed like a whole world of things going on." And I'm like, "I heard the dog bark. What happened?" Apparently, the dog was barking because somebody was coming in, but my other dog, who's not supposed to go up and down the stairs, he's old, fell down the stairs.
Ooh.
I don't know how we didn't hear all of this, but there was a lot going on. So he's okay, wow. But there was a bit of commotion going on in my house.
Dogs tumbling downstairs. That qualifies as commotion. Wow.
It really does. And so you just never know what's going to happen these days.
Yeah, I heard the bark, and then I saw you go to mute real quick, and it's fine. That's what happens. And actually, before we just started doing this, there was a dog running around. The neighbor that I do know, everybody really cares. The neighbor that I do know his name, his dog, the yards are just open and there's no fence in between our 2 yards, and his dog runs around in my yard too, which is fine. It's a little cute little muddy dog. I don't have a problem with it, but he sometimes runs around and barks, which he was just now, and now he stops. So I guess we made it. All right, that's it. I still have to edit a podcast tonight. You have to tend to dogs falling downstairs. I think we got to get out of this. We have to get out. So good fun today. Let's cap off a Monday. We made it. And thanks everyone for checking out the show. And we'll be back tomorrow with more fun and games and tales from wacky suburbia. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.